joining me today here on the Creative Retreat channel for a process video using the new Faith Art box for March, just as he said. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. We've got some beautiful projects coming from the team to be in the Bible and different things, and I really wanted to do a memory keeping layout today. So that's what I'm going to do. I thought these elements were so beautiful. It's very transitional for across all kinds of project types, paper crafting. So I wanted to show you how you can use these kits even in your memory keeping, your scrapbooking. Now I'm going to be using this A5 notebook size that I got from Felicity Jane. These pocket cards that are in the devotional kit, the Faith-Filled Digitals, are perfect if you're doing pocket cards, pocket pages. For example, this, now I've cut it down to size to fit my project, but you could put that up there, put your title there, some journaling, a couple of the stickers from the decor sticker sheet right here, and you've got yourself a page. How easy is that, doing pocket journaling? I'm going to take these out because I'm not doing a pocket page, but I wanted to show you how easy that would be. So I'm going to do a little bit of background stamping or stenciling with these stencils, a little bit of stamping, and then just put these pages together. So I'm going to put you on fast forward. Okay, so I'm going to begin by stenciling, and I think I'm going to use this flower, and then I decide I'm going to start with the leaf stencils. And I'm using the Yield Yellow pigment ink from Creative Retreat Kids and one of these blending brushes. Now a tip is to use some Pixie spray on the back of your stencil and it'll hold it in place. I did not have that. It's something I'm going to get. And you can see I just cleaned this blending brush off with a baby wipe, a wet wipe, and that does a good job. I do ink it off once I pick up the new color. I do ink it off on some scratch paper just to make sure that all that color is gone. Now I have shifted to the flower stencil, and I used cotton candy. That was the pink. I'm going to go back to the leaf print now, and I'm using some blue. This is Powder Puff Blue. I'm just going around some of the edges. You're not going to see a whole lot of this at the end, but you'll see some of it peeking through, and that's what I want because I'm going to cover this with all the good stuff. I'm going to add a little bit more of that yellow up there at the top, and now I'm going to start placing my elements. This is a picture that I wanted to document, and I'm going to go ahead and mount it on some white first so it won't get lost against that colorful background. I printed this background for my mat from the digital devotional, and when I printed it, it actually gave it a black background, but I thought that that was pretty cool. So now I'm using some of the journaling cards from the Faith-Filled Digitals and some of the washies and just some of the different elements, and I'm placing them around. So this is a picture of me with some other pastors' wives in the state of Florida when I went to a conference a couple of years ago. And I loved this picture. We had a project where we were making wreaths out of flowers, and we took a picture all together, and it was just perfect. This kit was just perfect with all the florals, and I thought it would be great, not only because of the design elements, but also the theme of this kit. I wrote on a tab up there that says sisters, because we are sisters in Christ. We have to encourage each other and pray for each other, especially as pastors' wives and those of us in the ministry, full-time ministry. It can be so discouraging, and it can be so difficult because Satan really attacks us. He attacks pastors. He attacks pastors' families and pastors' children. I really believe that if we are not in the Word daily and just depending on His Word and on His promises, then we will fall. And when God's leaders fall, then the church falls. So it's very important. That's why I loved the theme of this kit for in order to document this page. What I have stamped over on this journaling card is "His words are true." I double stamped the word "true" in pink in the cotton candy and black to give it a two-tone look. And then "his words are," you can see I stamped it two different ways. The stamp is "his words are," all straight one line, but I cut the word "are" and separated it so that I can manipulate the placement a little bit. So I'm putting these pieces down. I love these large scale florals that are perfect for something like this, a project like this, but also using the Interleaf Bible, using the Illustrating Bible. I'm using my Tombow MonoAdhesive tape runner to place my pieces down. And I've pulled out a bunch of elements, both from the physical kit, the Faith Art Box, and the Faith Filled Digitals. Okay, now I'm going to stick my picture down and my tab that says Sisters. And then on this label over here, I put the sticker that says Grace. And I'm going to, right now, I'm going to mask. So I use the stamp that says His words, but I cover with some washi tape the word words, so that, and then I ink it, and then I take that washi tape off with all the ink on it. So the only thing that is inked is the word His. You can isolate images from a stamp that way by masking it off with washi tape. I'm using my two-way glue pen to adhere that flower. I printed that on paper, and the two-way glue pen, I can get into those corners, and I just thought that would work well for that element. So I stamped and used the sticker His Grace on the little label at the bottom, and then I'm putting here the stickers that say He is faithful, and I'm adding a couple of the wonky hearts. And I come in and add the word by on the label down at the bottom, because it is only by His grace that we can be successful, that we can be faithful, that we can live a sanctified life and be in the ministry day in and day out by His grace. And that is true of everyone, not just those in the ministry, but that's true of mothering and parenting and in marriage and in relationships and being a good employee, being a good friend, a good neighbor. By His grace, we all need to be in the Word, regardless of your position and your job and occupation. So now I'm doing my title, and I use the yellow alphabet stickers, and then I also use for the word His, those were from the Faith Filled Digitals, and I just cut those out, and now I'm outlining those with my black pen, my precision pen, and it says we are His servants. So my thought for this was, we are His servants, but it's only because we are in the Word, and we remain faithful to Him because He is faithful. By His grace, we are faithful servants. Okay, so I'm going to figure out what I want to do over in this top left corner where there's a lot of white space. So I tuck in one of the larger digitals, the large blue one, and I trim that off the edge. And I'm going to take the part that I trimmed and use it over here on the right side of the layout. And again, I'm using my two-way glue pen, and my tweezers are very helpful for putting some of these small elements like that and like the alphabets, the alpha stickers. Okay, so now I took the flower from the stamp set and I'm stamping it on some white cardstock, and I'm just cutting that out loosely to begin with. I think I'm going to do that stamping over in this corner up here. I wanted to add some black to it, and like I thought, it was very white up here. So I have some bulk on the other side of this page, so I actually put my block underneath between the two pages to add to give me some platform for stamping. And I'm masking off my elements and I'm stamping those on the edge. I'm just blocking it here so that I could just get a little bit of that peeking out. Now I'm going to color this one that I cut out, and I do it by putting a little bit of the ink onto my stamp block and picking up that ink with my aqua brush. This is the Pomegranate color. Now this doesn't work as well as some water-based inks, but this one does work if it dries quickly, but if you keep picking up that color, you can color with it. And then I added some of the peach to it so that it would match that flower a little bit better. And then I also stamped the outline in the peach just to give it a little bit more of that peachy color. I'm going to cut that out a little bit better. And I'm going to stick that up there in that cluster in the top left-hand corner. And that filled up that space for me. That makes me happier. Now I'm going to do some outlining with my precision pen with some of these elements to make them pop out a little bit better. All these colors, they can just kind of get lost and it can be so busy, and that black outlining helps to balance it all out. I'm going to do some black splatter painting just again to balance it out. Black always seems to tone down color. I'm going to do my journaling, and what I write is, as the wife of a pastor, being called into the ministry and serving with my husband, it is absolutely vital that I lean into his word always. We can trust the words that he says. We can trust that he is faithful. I add a couple of the small sticker circles to either side to kind of flank the word his. And now I've made a mess. I didn't like what happened over at the bottom right. I actually put my date stamp there too, and it just got lost. So I got this vine from the printables and I put that there, and then I dated my page with my Heidi Swapp date stamp. And then that is it for the page. Here are some still shots. I do have all of the products linked that I have used in the description box, so check those out. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them in the comment section. I'll be sure to check those. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much. God bless. Bye-bye.